So hello friends, welcome back once again. In this video we will discuss about what is the cross platform we used in 2025 and also discuss when we should use native mobile app platform and when we should use cross platform app. So let's start. So first is the cross platform development platform. So cross platform actually a set of tools, libraries, runtime environment that enable developers to build application for multiple operating system from a single shared code base. So actually the goal is to achieve native like performance and UI consistency without duplicating effort for each platform. So means that with the single code we will use for the multiple platform and want to achieve a native like performance here. So the most popular cross platform is the React Native. So React Native is a very popular cross platform development platform, and here we use the language JavaScript, TypeScript, and this platform actually backed by Facebook, and this is a very popular for startups and enterprise. And second, a very most popular platform is the Flutter. So actually here we use the language Dart, and this platform actually invented and backed by Google, and this is best for UI heavy app, sports web plus desktop app. So this is the major difference here. We can also create the app for the web and desktop also. So third is a very popular is the Xamarin. So here we use the .NET MAUI. So here language actually we use the C Sharp, .NET, and this platform is backed by Microsoft, and this is also good for enterprise app using .NET ecosystem. And another a very popular framework is the Ionic. Here we use the language JavaScript, and here we use the Angular, React, and Vue. So actually this platform is used for the web view, and this is good for the simple apps. Actually we don't use here native libraries, we mostly use here web. So actually this platform actually used for the web. Another is the Unity. So this platform actually used for the mobile games, and this is best for the 2D 3D games, AR apps. And another is the Apache Cartodoa PhoneGap. So this platform actually very old and rarely used now, mostly outdated but still used for small apps. Another is the native mobile app development platform. So I think everybody know about it that for the native we use the separate code base for the iOS and Android and maximum performance and hardware access, because here we can access all the native libraries. So here the mostly used language is the Swift. So Swift actually a primary language, and this is also a Apple official language. And another is the Swift UI. Swift UI actually Apple modern UI framework and declarative fast future of the iOS UI. So all the UI we can also create with the storyboard, and we can also create with the Swift UI. So another language is the Objective C. So this language actually a older language and still used in legacy enterprise apps. So this is the iOS native platform. Here we use the Swift, Swift UI, and Objective-C. And another is the Android native development. So here the primary language is the Kotlin, and this is the Google official Android language, and it's provide best performance, modern feature. So another we use here Jetpack Compose. So this is used for the modern declarative UI framework, Flutter like for Android. So we can use this like a Flutter in the Android native. And Java, this language actually older but still used in widely in enterprise. So another question is here, when to use cross platform. So here is the full detail breakdown. So first, suppose you want to build iOS plus Android from a single code base. So you should use a cross platform. So if your budget is very limited, so you should use cross platform. So if your team is small, so you should use cross platform, because you need not here separate developer for the Android and iOS. So you should use here cross platform. App is UI driven, API driven. So API and UI based app you should use cross platform. So if you want that your development should be fast, so you should use cross platform. And if you want easier maintenance, so you should use cross platform, because here maintenance is very easy with a single code base. You need to push update quickly. So you want consistent UI across devices. You can use the single code base app in the Android, you can use this in the iOS and in the web. So you want reuse logic between platform. So single logic you can use multiple platforms. So here is few things where we should not use cross platform app. First is when your app needs very high performance. So you need low level and real time work, so you should not use cross platform app. So these are the few examples like 3D games, PUBG, Free Fire, Call on Duty, games engine, real time video editing, rendering, real time audio processing, apps with complex physics engines. So like this functionality if you need in your app, so you should not use cross platform app. So when you need extremely advanced hardware feature like custom Bluetooth, low energy stack, health devices, LOT, advanced camera pipeline like raw image processing, HDR blending, night mode, biometric level processing. So these feature if you need in your app, so you should not use cross platform app because you have a very limited libraries in the cross platform. So when your app must reliably run in the background, so you should not use cross platform app. Suppose long background tasks, continuous location tracking, background audio processing, background file upload, sync, sensor monitoring. So if you need all these feature in your app, so you should not use cross platform app. Example of app fail in cross platform. So WhatsApp app, Telegram full feature calling is fail in the cross platform app. If you want to implement Uber like continuous GPS tracking, so this feature is also very difficult to implement in the cross platform. Healthcare tracking apps, step counter, ECG, sleep tracking, so this type of feature if you want to implement in the cross platform, so this is very difficult to implement in the cross platform. So if your app depends heavily on the platform specific UI, here a few examples. Suppose you want to pure iOS look and feel, Apple Health, Apple Map. So this is not possible with the cross platform. So if you want pure material UI design on the Android, so this is also not completely possible in the cross platform. So apps where OS level gesture matter, iPhone swipe home, so like this feature is also very difficult to implement in the cross platform. So apps needing platform exclusive components, so Swift UI components on the iOS, Jetpack components on the Android, so these component you cannot use in the cross platform. So actually cross platform cannot perfectly replicate iOS native physics, iOS native animations, iOS accessibility. So when actually you need ultra stable long term support like your bank apps, government apps and enterprise app. So banking apps like HDFC, SBI, Yono, ICIC you mostly use in the India, and government apps like Aadhaar, DigiLocker and secure apps like defense, healthcare. All these app actually a very important app, and here we mostly native is preferred because native SDK actually update come first, because when you update something, so first the update is come in the native side and cross platform actually update arrive later. So actually a banking app, government app and security app is actually a very important app, and here first update is required. So here we mostly use the native apps. So actually when your app uses many animations, 3D transitions, micro interactions like complex gesture heavy apps, AR VR interactions, 3D models, so in this type of apps we mostly use native app. So here we don't use cross platform app. When app require heavy native API integration, so in this type of app we don't use cross platform app like CarPlay, Apple Watch integration, Wear OS integration, AirPlay. So all these feature actually you cannot use in the cross platform because in the cross platform we have a very limited feature like basic NFC, basic Bluetooth, basic map. So all feature we cannot use in the cross platform. So where we use more features, so we should use native mobile apps. So I hope this video is very helpful for understanding where we should native mobile app, where we should use cross platform app. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.